Last year, I took a risk in one of my drama education courses. I decided that I would be an artist, in that I would perform a play that I'd written myself for the students. I'd be a researcher, in that I would research the course, but I'd also be a teacher on the course. Now, I'm very used to teaching, less used to researching, and not at all used to performing or acting, especially not in front of my students. So I was absolutely terrified at the prospect. I was exposed and I was vulnerable. As a researcher, I felt that I had to tell the students about what I was doing before I did it, in order to be open and transparent as a researcher. Now, that doesn't fit how I usually teach. As one student said to me, "Dorothy, you like to reel us in, and when you've got us, then you like to throw it all up in our faces." Probably true. So, but when I performed the play, I didn't actually fail, or at least I think I didn't fail. As a researcher, I had lots of data. But as a teacher teaching the course, I felt that the course was a failure, that I had actually failed as a teacher. But, as Winston Churchill once said, failure isn't fatal. What matters is continuing on. So I decided to take another risk. I decided that I'd take the same group of students again. Now, I had no idea what I was going to do with them, but I did know there was going to be some focus in the course on playmaking. But as I took a risk, two opportunities presented themselves to me in the form of two artists. Mark McLaughlin, who's the artistic director of Branner, which is the theatre artist in residence here in Mary I. So he came to the college. And also I had access to Fiona McDonough, a doctoral student who'd worked as an artist for many years. And I had access to her as a teaching assistant. So I took another risk. And I asked the two of them to be involved with me in the course. So together, we planned the course. And we made changes as the course evolved. Early on in the course, I led from the back. I didn't want to annoy the students again. But as the course progressed, I found that I was beginning to lead more and more from the front. And during the whole process, I learned a lot about playmaking from Mark and Fiona. I learned a lot about planning. I learned a lot about teaching. I learned things that I didn't know that I knew. And I learned things that I didn't know that I didn't know. And for the students, the course was successful. They told me it was. They even loved the assessment, which was to create a play for young audiences. Now that, for the students, was a risk. And one of the students came to me afterwards and he said to me, "Dorothy, the fact that you'd performed for us last semester made it easier for us to do it this semester." So the risk had paid off. So what have I learned about risks from all of this? I've learned that risks are powerful. Risks are scary. Risks take courage. But I also found that risks energize me and they actually have the potential to energize the students that I teach. Also, I learned that as a teacher, if I take a risk, it supports the students to take risks too. Risks also can end in failure. But if we don't take them, we may not find that in that pond, in the place where you least expect it, there may actually be a fish. Thank you.